Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Don Shainis versus Jack Jenkins. This is a fight between two very similar fighters. I'd say Jack Jenkins is the more polished version of Don Shainis. Don Shainis is a more aggressive fighter, and the cost of aggression sometimes is sloppiness. That is what he brings. He's got 12 wins, 4 losses. Of his 12 wins, 8 of them come by TKO, but the majority of them come on the ground. This guy's more of a ground fighter than people give him credit for. He's only got 2 submission wins, and his one high-profile fight is his one submission loss to Sadiq Yusuff in 30 seconds. So I think it's easy to dismiss this guy as a shitty grappler, but his grappling is there for him. You know, he's got a good top game when he's able to out-wrestle his opponent, and even when he's not. He's got a win over Chris Lencioni, who's thriving right now with a big win over, what's his name? Cody Law over in Bellator. But Don Shainis was able to beat Lencioni, who's a solid grappler, and he beat him with grappling. He out-wrestled him and dominated in round 1, and then when he was taken down in round 2, he hit a beautiful sweep and took over the round, and then hit another beautiful sweep in round 3. But still, that was more back and forth, and Lencioni ended up taking the round. Nevertheless, it's his biggest victory, and it comes due to his defensive jiu-jitsu, which was also there for him against Cody Pfister. You know, he had another sweep, which maybe his sweep is offensive jiu-jitsu. I don't fucking know. But either way, he was better off his back than people would give him credit for. You know, I think it's easy to dismiss this guy as a shitty grappler. But he's more of a grappler. You know, even, again, his 8 TKO victories, the majority of them come on the ground. He advances position, and he's got plenty of TKOs from the back mount and full mount. And a few of them he's got with knockdowns, which, you know, I guess you could attribute it to his striking again. But still, he's better on the ground than he is on the feet, in my opinion. On the feet, aggression, again, is his primary asset. That and his hands. He does have good knockdown power. I don't know if he's got knockout power, but he likes to throw hands, and he's only giving up an inch of height and an inch of reach here against Jack Jenkins. These are two similarly built fighters. Jack Jenkins, I'd say, is the better striker, though. If he's able to thwart the wrestling of Don Shainis, you know, maybe he'll use his own wrestling, as we saw in his last fight against Linares on the Contender Series. But Jack Jenkins, I think, on the feet here, he's got an advantage in that he's a little longer and taller, of course, 1 inch, but he's also a more versatile striker. You know, he's gotten a finish with leg kicks, even though it's over a guy with a 4-4 record. Still, it's a leg kick finish, and I trust his striking more. He's more patient. He keeps a good defensive guard. I do think Don Shainis leaves himself open, again, by being aggressive. A lot of things, you know, go against you when you start being aggressive. But Jack Jenkins has also beaten better fighters. You know, Don Shainis beat Chris Lencioni, which is probably the best win. But Jack Jenkins, he beat the guy Linares on the Contender Series, which I'm not saying that guy's anything. But he's got some nice wins. This guy, Red Costa, Diego Pereira, they have, you know, not great records, but they're better than they appear to be. You could see when you watch them fight. And I have a higher estimation of Jack Jenkins, to be honest. I do think Jack Jenkins should win this fight. But I don't know if he gets Don Shainis out of there. Shainis was submitted by Sadiq Yusuff, stopped once in his debut, a doctor stoppage, which after 5 minutes, so who knows what happened. And his other 2 losses are via decision. One of them a 5-rounder against a bigger, stronger grappler, you know, a journeyman, this guy Nathan Williams. But it was a bad matchup, and the guy got the better of him. You know, still, Don Shainis showed he was game for 5 rounds. You know, he had he fought hard in round 5 anyway. But he did show in that fight that you can control him on the ground. You know, whenever the guy Nathan took his back, that was pretty much the end of the round most of the time. You know, he locked up the body triangle and held his back, and Don Shainis didn't have an answer for that. But Don Shainis, I don't think he's going to be threatened too much in the grappling realm here. I think he'll be the one doing the threatening. Jack Jenkins, I think, is going to want to keep this fight standing. Between the fact that Dana White called him a boring fighter, after his Contender Series victory, and the fact that he's fighting in front of the hometown crowd here. I just think he's going to want to keep this one standing. And look, I'm not saying that's going to work out for him. I think it would. I think he would win a 15-minute kickboxing battle here if they were on the feet. But still, Don Shainis is aggressive, and I think he would get early on some big moments. So it's an interesting fight. I do think Jack Jenkins wins. My prediction is he wins by decision. I threw a bet on that at plus 210. But I also threw something on Don Shainis to win. I think Don Shainis at plus 240, it covers everything. I do think there's a chance he can win a decision here, especially with his propensity for a strong round one. I also think the only two ways Jack Jenkins has lost, he's got two losses, they are by submission. So may as well cover that. And Don Shainis, when he does win, he's most likely to win by TKO. So I was looking for props, and then I just said, whatever, his money line at plus 240 is juicy enough. That going against Jack Jenkins getting the better of him and winning that plus 210 by decision. Those are my bets. So gun to my head, I'll go Jenkins by decision. Remove the gun. I'm going to start sprinkling bets on Don Shainis. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.